Trinidad was the flagship of Ferdinand Magellan's voyage of circumnavigation. Unlike Elcano's Victoria, which returned to Spain sailing across the Indian Ocean, Trinidad tried and failed to sail east across the Pacific to New Spain, or modern-day Mexico. Trinidad was a NAO of 100 tons with square sails on the fore and main masts and a lateen mizzen. Its original crew was 61. After Magellan's death and the burning of the Concepcion, Victoria and Trinidad reached Tidor on 8 November 1521. In mid-December both ships attempted to depart loaded with cloves, but Trinidad almost immediately began to leak badly. Inspection showed that the problem was serious. It was agreed that Victoria would leave for Spain and Trinidad would remain for repairs. On 6 April 1522, Trinidad left Tidor loaded with 50 tons of cloves. Her commander was Gonzalo Gómez de Espinosa, Magellan's alguacil, a good soldier, but no sailor. After 10 days Trinidad put in at one of the Marianas, where 3 men deserted, and then headed northeast. Espinosa was apparently trying to reach the westerlies, but did not find them, probably because of the summer monsoon. He reached 42 or 43 degrees north in increasingly bad weather. Scurvy set in, ultimately killing 30 men and leaving only 20 to sail the ship. 5 months after leaving, he turned back and 2 months later reached the Moluccas. The previous May a fleet of 7 Portuguese ships under Antonio de Brito reached Tidor, seeking to arrest Magellan. Espinosa sent Brito a letter begging for supplies. Brito sent an armed party to capture Trinidad, but, instead of armed resistance, they found only a ship on the verge of sinking and a crew near death. Trinidad was sailed back to Ternate where her sails and rigging were removed. The ship was caught in a storm and smashed to pieces. Only 4 of the survivors got back to Europe. Juan Rodriguez escaped in a Portuguese ship. The remaining 3, Commander Espinosa, seaman and expedition diarist Ginés de Mafra, a Norwegian gunner Hans Vargu, spent 2 years at hard labor before being shipped to Lisbon and more prison. Vargu died in the Portuguese prison. Espinosa is last heard of in 1543 as a Spanish inspector of ships. De Mafra, the last to be released because of the many documents he possessed, in time did become a pilot, in part because of the experience he gained with Magellan's expedition. In 1541 he was named pilot of the San Juan under Ruy López de Villalobos. 2 years later, wrecked on a Philippine island. He wrote about the Magellan expedition while waiting on ship repairs. Here the Magellan expedition was remembered favorably by royalty, and ultimately he with 29 other men chose to remain in the Philippines rather than resume with the failing Villalobos expedition.